Tempt. Romance audiobooks. A safe place to explore your dreams.
Chapter 1. Slain. Harlow. Present. June Harbor Slayer strikes again. Slain local dancer makes victim number 4. The corners of the newspaper flutter as it settles on the cold metal table, the fluorescent lights flickering across the big black letters. My stomach churns as I read the bolded headline again. June Harbor Slayer strikes again. Slain local dancer makes victim number 4.
Anything else you want to tell us?
I ignore the detective's question the same way the newspaper ignored the fact that Beth wasn't just a dancer. She was a friend, a sister, a daughter. She didn't just dance at night, she also got iced coffee every morning, no matter the weather, from her favorite cafe where the baristas knew the exact milk-to-coffee ratio she liked. The police predict a serial killer, but Beth had liked to predict when a red light would turn green, and any time her countdown was right, she squealed and slammed on the accelerator while saying, "It's my time to shine!" Shine. She shined in everything she did, whether it was painstakingly picking the perfect avocados or calling her grandmother religiously every Sunday.
Miss Hargrave, there is a serial killer out there, and you're the only living witness. You need to help us help your friend.
Shut up. I mumble on a shaky exhale as I make eye contact with the black and white Beth staring back at me from the paper.
Excuse me?
The detective's voice is strained, like he's struggling to stay calm. Shut up, I repeat quietly.
Miss Hargrave.
Shut up, I erupt. I stand abruptly, my chair slamming back into the concrete wall of the interrogation room. The sound is loud and jarring in the small space. I'm louder. Shut up, I yell again, and shove the paper off the table, the leaves littering the floor. Shut up! Like a broken record with a defective volume dial, I keep yelling louder and louder. The door bursts open and 2 uniformed cops rush in and shove me against the wall.
Calm down. Stop resisting.
Their orders are nothing but white noise, like the grotesque buzzing from the fluorescent lights casting the sterile room in a sickly artificial glow. Shut up!
Calm down. Stop resisting.
I'm not resisting. My cheek is pressed hard against the wall, and 2 strong sets of hands hold me still. Just shut the fuck up! My blood whooshes in my ear as I pant in their grip.
It's okay. Let her go.
The detective, a blonde man named Liam or Smith or something, speaks calmly despite the escalating tension pulsing in the concrete room. The unis hesitate but release their hold, and I step away from the wall to face Detective something or other. Stop talking like I don't want to help you, like I don't care that my best friend was gutted like a fish. Stop treating me like I'm withholding information. Stop. Just stop. I can't hold myself up any longer and collapse onto the floor, drawing my knees to my chest. I don't know how long I've been here, but obviously it's been long enough for the fucking paper to be written and printed. I've told you ad nauseum everything I remember. I haven't slept or eaten in what feels like days, and my best friend was just murdered. So please, just shut the fuck up. He crouches down to my level, and I reluctantly part my fingers covering my face.
You're right. None of us can possibly understand what you're feeling right now. And I apologize for pushing you like this. I wish there were another way. But right now, that sick bastard has killed 4 women, and you're our best bet of catching him before 4 becomes 5. So please, just one more time. What happened last night? Start at the beginning.
Thanks, Dex. Beth smiles at the giant bouncer and has to stretch on her tiptoes to press a kiss on his cheek. Peach's signature scent of cologne and sweat wafts out of the strip club's door.
That's what I'm here for, beauty.
Beth's stage name is fitting, her platinum bob framing her perfectly sweet but beautiful features. She reminds me of Tinkerbell, even in her bubblegum pink sweatsuit that's covering her sparkly stage clothes. Doug again? I ask, linking my arm with hers as we wave to Dexter and walk away from the club. She nervously twiddles the gold chain around her neck, thumbing the gold letters that spell out her stage name. I got it for her birthday last year, and she wears it every day. Yeah, occupational hazard. She sighs and forces a smile. She started working at Peach's almost 5 years ago. I know she loves dancing and most of her regular customers, but there's always a handful of creeps that can sour an entire evening.
And this Doug, you've never seen him. Has she ever described him? Tall, short, black, white?
He has a small dick. I lean my elbows on the table and stuff a handful of chips into my mouth. They finally conceded to bringing me something from the vending machine.
What?
The detective pauses whatever he's scribbling on his notepad and looks up at me. Dick, pecker, phallus, willy, cock.
I know what a goddamn dick is.
His knuckles whiten around his pin. Right, well, that's how he got his name. I use air quotes because it's not really his name. Beth gave him a private dance and he whipped it out, which they're not allowed to do, by the way. Beth strictly danced. Not that there would be anything wrong with servicing her clients in other ways, but I knew the police would care 10 times less if they thought she was a hooker. And she said it was the tiniest thing she'd ever seen, so she started calling him Unhung Doug. She couldn't remember his real name.
Hold up.
The detective's sidekick, Officer Quincy, I actually remember because it was my childhood dog's name, pipes up from the corner he's been silently observing from. He's been hitting me with stares that I think he thinks are intimidating, but really it just looks like he's holding back a fart.
Doug isn't even his real name? It's fine. We'll find it out.
Mr. Detective says, holding out a hand to silence his partner while keeping his eyes trained on me.
What happened next?
Thanks for picking me up, Flo. She usually gets a ride home from another dancer. Beth gives me a weak smile, and I can tell she's exhausted because she hasn't bothered to take off her makeup, which she always does before leaving. That, or she just really wanted to get out of there. I can't blame her. Why did they keep letting him in? The managers are usually very good about blacklisting problematic customers, so I'm surprised this asshole is even getting chances to harass her. They don't. He keeps sneaking in. I don't know how, but it's getting real old. She crosses her arms against her chest defensively, as if still trying to cover herself from his unwanted advances. Her light brown eyes seem to absorb the cool darkness of the night air as they scan the club's parking lot for my car. Times like this, I bet you miss your big Russian bodyguards. I laugh. I like my independence more. Beth and I have been friends since kindergarten, and in that time she's had various security-type people following her around. I remember thinking she was a princess when I was young, because all she would say about her bodyguards was, "My grandpa is an important person in Russia." I assumed that was code for king. I met him when I was 10 years old, and he definitely didn't seem like a king. He was just like any old grandpa. My current theory is that he is a nuclear scientist and knows all of Russia's military secrets. Her family gave her an ultimatum when she started dancing. They weren't going to keep paying for her security detail or her luxury condo if she insisted on putting herself in seedy situations. She obviously chose dancing, and a small, shitty apartment with me. An unsettling chill sends bumps down my arms. She calls it an occupational hazard, but what if he's out here right now, lurking like a skeevy shadow behind one of the many cars filling the lot? It's funny. You'd think a strip club's parking lot would be filled with muffleless muscle cars that roar as they putter into their spot. Or old Cadillacs jacked up on oversized tires with spinning rims and thumping bass. Instead, it's packed with mid-grade SUVs and simple sedans. Decals for the local golf course, and "My student is on the honor roll" stickers. Bird shit splattered on their windshields and "Wish my wife was this dirty" smudged into layers of dirt. So painfully average. I can almost hear their wife on the other end of a phone asking if he picked up that milk she asked for, and his shoddy lie about being at a stoplight with one of those kids blasting that crappy rap music. I'm parked at the theater. I nod over my shoulder, and she follows me to the alley that cuts between the club and the neighboring movie theater. At nearly 11 on a Wednesday night, Their lot had available spaces. I just threw my keys in here. How are they already buried at the bottom? I pause to rifle through my bag for my car keys, while Beth keeps walking toward my car in the near-empty lot. And this is how you get murdered, I mutter to myself with a laugh, remembering a self-defense lesson in high school PE where the instructor told us to always have our keys ready as you approach your vehicle. The sound of a zooming car, muffler rumbling, covers Beth's shout. I look up at the indistinguishable sound, and she's yelling again with wide, panicked eyes. Run! I only make it a few steps when the sharp, burning zing spreads like wildfire from my back to my limbs, immobilizing me. I go down on the wet pavement, my head sounding like a crushed melon as it breaks my fall. The last thing I see before the humming blackness takes me is Beth pedaling backwards with a scream that I can't separate from the ringing in my head. She hits the side of my car, nowhere else to go as a black figure cages her in. Her bright pink jumpsuit is like a burst of light amidst the dark. Officer Quincy wordlessly hands me a crumpled napkin, and I begrudgingly take it to wipe my eyes. You'd think I would have drained myself of tears at this point, but apparently not. I have reason to be crying, I know that. I just witnessed my best friend get murdered by a serial killer. Survivor's guilt doesn't even begin to explain this overbearing, crushing pain fracturing my bones and soul. Yet, I still hate crying in front of these men. Their patronizing tone when they suggest a break is the reason why. I want this to be over. I want to be out of this concrete hellscape. And if I'm crying, I'm not talking. And if I'm not talking, I'm not answering their questions. And if I'm not answering their questions, then I'm not going home. Home. The apartment I shared with Beth. Fuck. No, I'm fine. Let's keep going so I can get the hell out of here. I swallow the rising knot in my throat and shrug back any remaining tears.
Okay. At what point did you come to?
A shiver runs down my spine as I remember the grisly sight. He was crouching over her and stabbing her repeatedly.
Who was it, Miss Hargrave? Was it this Doug character?
The detective leans forward, his palms flat on the metal table, his eyes are glowing with a determined fire. For the briefest moment, I have the passing and extremely inappropriate thought that he's shockingly attractive. A square, handsome jaw like Superman or a small town's star quarterback. Where the hell did that come from? I'm officially delirious. It takes me a second to even remember his question. No, I don't know, maybe? I don't know what Doug looks like. He tenses at my answer, his fingers whitening again on the table, and his jaw ticks.
But if you knew what Doug looked like, could you identify him? You saw his face.
There's a slight rush to his words, and he pulls out the chair opposite me and sits. Quincy steps closer too, though he's worse at hiding the clear anticipation on his face. No, I already told you I didn't see his face. I didn't see anything. And all I know about Doug is he is some old creep, which doesn't exactly narrow down suspects. The last word is scratchy and cracked, as I'm reminded how utterly useless I am. My best friend was slaughtered, slain, right in front of me, and I can't tell the police a damn thing. Quincy's face falls to an uncomfortable grimace when my voice cracks. You'd think the police would be used to dealing with crying people. He needs to work on his poker face. The detective runs a hand over his mouth and chin with a sigh, leaning back in the chair. His intense blue eyes have softened when he starts talking again.
You saw something. That's why we are driving you mad going over this again.
He forces a laugh, but it's dry and weak.
Your memory is sharpest right after the incident. And believe it or not, you've given us a lot already.
He reaches forward to place a hand on mine, and I don't like how soothing it is.
If we find this son of a bitch, it's going to be because of you. We will get justice for your friend because of you.
I rub my chest with my other hand like his words. His reassurance that I am helping is a salve for my splintering heart. I can do this. I will do this. For Beth.
Can you take a deep breath with me?
His pretty eyes lock with mine, and I'm shocked by the sincerity in them. I nod.
All right. Breathe in. 1, 2, 3.
My lungs stretch uncomfortably in my ribcage, like I haven't taken a full breath in ages.
And out. 1, 2, 3.
His eyes don't leave mine the entire time, and when I finish my exhale, a soft smile is tugging at his lips.
Good.
I can't help but smile back. Actually, I wouldn't call it a smile. I'm just not scowling or crying anymore.
Close your eyes and think back. You come to, and he's attacking Beth. What do you see? Anything identifiable? Scars, tattoos?
My eyes slam open. Tattoos. It's like slowly waking from a dream. The world comes into focus slowly and confusingly. There are orange pools of light, dotted blurs of red, street lamps, passing cars, and black. Whirling black, the black pavement under me, the black haze still fading from my mind, my black car, and the black figure. Pink. But it's not really pink anymore. It's red. Red like blood. Beth! Everything sharpens with the realization, my surroundings coming into focus instantly. There's a person, a man, standing crouched over Beth's body, which is unmoving except for when he brings down his fist, again and again, making her body rattle from the impact and then the force it takes to pull the knife, not fist, from her torso. I scream, but nothing comes out. Beth's head rolls to the side and we're face to face. I scream and scream at her lifeless eyes staring back at me. I scream until my voice must be hoarse. But I realize with horror that my mouth never opened. I reach for her, but again, my hand doesn't move. It's like giving commands to a body not my own. No matter how desperately I demand my body to move, it doesn't. I'm frozen in this nightmare. A fox's face catches my eye, a snake caught in its jaws. It's like something out of a fairy tale. Suddenly, it all makes sense. The paralysis, the soundless screams. I'm dreaming. A siren blares in the distance, but I don't wake up. Because this isn't a dream, and that thing is a tattoo on the attacker's hand. Every other visible part of him is covered in black fabric. He freezes at the sound of the sirens. The fox on his hand stares back at me. The pause is short, barely a few seconds, until he's jumping upright and bolting away. His black shape disappears into the dark expanse of the parking lot. Officer Quincy slaps the detective on the back, glee painted across his face, and they exchange a knowing look. A stampede of excitement rushes through me. Do they know the tattoo I just described?
Quincy, I have Barnes looking into him already. Go see what he has.
The officer practically skips out of the room and the detective turns to me.
Good work.
And the straight-A overachieving perfectionist in me melts a little at his praise. That's one thing about having a hyper-successful mother with sky-high expectations. You'll do just about anything to hear, "Job well done." What's your name? I ask while we wait. He laughs.
Wow, I really made a good first impression, huh? Detective Saxon.
I don't know why, but it hurts that he only told me his title.
Or just Leo.
Leo. I warm slightly, but then jump when Quincy slams the door open. He doesn't look even an ounce as excited as he was when he left, and my heart sinks. He looks at me apologetically. Then his expression becomes stony as he turns to Leo and shakes his head.
Is it ironclad?
Leo stands up, fists clenching at his sides. My gaze ping-pongs between them, heart thumping while waiting for an answer.
Airtight.
I assume they're talking about an alibi. I've heard those words thrown around in my crime shows plenty of times before. The small balloon of hope I'd felt just minutes before pops sharply and painfully.
Fuck!
Leo roars. I jolt back as he slams his fist onto the table. It's almost like he's startled himself with how quickly he jumps back into his calm, all-American charm. I must look terrified because he speaks to me like a scared animal.
I'm sorry, but we're gonna need a hell of a lot more than a hazy recollection from a likely concussed witness.
He rubs his knuckles that I notice are already coloring with a faint bruise. I understand his outburst. If all the events of the last 24 hours didn't drain me of all my energy, I would be pounding the table until my knuckles were black and blue too. So, what now? I can feel the tears welling again in my eyes.
Now you're free to go, Miss Hargrave.
You can listen to the rest of the book in the Tempt Romance audiobooks app, available on the App Store and Google Play. The link to the book is in the description. Discover even more bestsellers and exclusive stories updated weekly, only in Tempt Romance audiobooks.